For March Madness 2022, I am partnering with BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Using the link in the description, you can get a 125% sign-up bonus using the promo code JOIN125. A $100 minimum deposit is necessary. Get in on the action on this NCAA tournament and March Madness season and any other sport in general, and make some money. Get in on the action with BetUS. Before we get started with this video, I want to let you guys know about my Discord server. We're talking college basketball live games, just college basketball in general, bracketology, Q&As, all that stuff. Hit the link in the description to join the Super Celtic 24 Discord server. Sup guys, it's Alex here, and welcome to the 2022 SEC Tournament predictions. Before we take a look here at the bracket, and before we take a look at my predictions for that bracket, I want to let you guys know about the 7,777 subscriber NCAA Tournament ticket giveaway. If we hit 7,777 subscribers by Selection Sunday, March 13th, which is next Sunday, 1 week away, I will be giving away a first-round NCAA tournament ticket. I've done it in years past, and it's always worked out pretty well. How you do it is you just need to subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications on, take a screenshot, send it over to @AlexPrice24 on Instagram, and that's how you enter the giveaway. More details are in the description below. I'll pick a random winner on March 14th, the Monday, just so we can go ahead and make sure all entries are considered. So yeah, make sure you enter that tournament ticket giveaway, and let's take a look here at the SEC tournament bracket. So the SEC, I feel, is completely wide open amongst the top 4 teams this year. You got 1 seed Auburn, who was number 1 in the nation for a little bit of time. I think they're 4-3 in their last 7 games or something like that. They've kind of faltered a little bit down the stretch. Granted, all of those losses were on the road. Then you have 2 seed Tennessee, who's kind of been around like the second or third kind of viewed team in the SEC. But they've been picking up some quality wins recently. They just beat Arkansas yesterday. They've beaten Kentucky. They've also gotten destroyed by Kentucky. And they've beaten Arizona as well, who is a team that is considered for a 1 seed in the actual NCAA tournament. Tennessee is no joke this year either. Then you got Kentucky, a team that a lot of people view as a national championship contender. But they're undefeated at home too, but they've also struggled on the road when they have injuries, which, I mean, is something you got to consider with Ty Washington, Severe Wheeler. When fully healthy, I believe that team is one of the best teams in the entire nation. But health is a real concern for Kentucky. Severe Wheeler and Ty have been missing time lately. So if they're not 100% ready for this tournament, this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight tournament, especially once you get to the NCAA tournament as well, that may be something to consider. And then you have 4 seed Arkansas, a team that really kind of at the beginning of January, kind of mid-January, they were completely dead in the water. Nobody's really talking about them. I think they were like 10-5 at one point, but they had a couple of bad losses and they just had like no momentum. But then all of a sudden they went on a huge winning streak. At one point they won 13 out of their last 14 games, and then I think they lost to Tennessee yesterday, so now it's like 13 out of their last 15, something like that. But that team, Arkansas, if you've been watching my actual bracketology videos, this team is one of the hottest teams in the nation, if not the hottest team in the nation. In that stretch of teams that they had beaten in the 13 out of 15, they beat Auburn at home. They beat Tennessee. They beat Kentucky. They can beat anybody in this field of SEC teams. They can beat anybody in the field of national champion or in the NCAA tournament as well. I think Arkansas is a team you have to watch out for. They love their coach. Eric Musselman gives them a great energy. And this team with J.D. Note and Jalen Williams, they are starting to put together a lot of momentum. Then taking a look at the rest of the bracket, LSU, a team that made it close to the top 10. I can't remember if they actually made it into the top 10 at one point this year, but they've been kind of falling off lately. Then you got Alabama, one of the most inconsistent teams in America. They've knocked off Gonzaga. They've knocked off Houston. They've knocked off Baylor. But then they've also lost to teams like Georgia. They just lost to Texas A&M by double digits at home earlier last week. That's a team that can win. They can make a run and win this whole thing, or they can lose to the winner of Vanderbilt and Georgia. I mean, they've done it already. That's a team that a lot of people, I just don't know what to think of Alabama. Which Alabama team is going to show up? Then in the 7th seed, you got South Carolina, who's been playing a lot better as the season's progressed. Then you got 8 seed Texas A&M, 9 seed Florida, 2 bubble teams right now. They basically have to defeat Auburn to have a chance to make the NCAA tournament. Then you got Mississippi State, Vanderbilt as the 11, Missouri as the 12, Ole Miss as the 13, and then you got Georgia down there as the 14. So this is how the bracket's going to end up looking. The championship game will be 1 o'clock Eastern time on Selection Sunday, so you bet your ass I'll be watching that. I am a huge SEC fan because I'm a Kentucky basketball fan. But taking a look at the bracket, I went ahead and created this on Excel, so I'm just going to go through and make my predictions just round by round, which the first round is gonna suck for a lot of these teams. We have up first, we have Missouri and Ole Miss. I think Missouri can pull off the victory there. I think they'll move on to the second round to face LSU. And then we are going to have Vanderbilt moving forward and beating Georgia as well. I think that'll be a team that a lot of people need to pay attention to. We are going to move Vanderbilt forward. So moving on to the second round, Texas A&M and Florida. This is a complete 50-50 to me. I think both teams are very, very, very similar in how they've been progressing this year. Texas A&M and Florida, I am going to go with the 9 seed Florida advancing on here. I do think that Florida does have the best chance to advance out of those two teams right there. Texas A&M, they did just go on the road and beat Alabama, but I think Florida, they have a lot of people returning from that team last year that made the NCAA tournament. Colin Castleton, I think, will be the best player on the court, and I think they'll advance on there and pull up the slight 9/8. I know a lot of people hate when I call it 9/8 an upset, but by definition it is an upset. Up next, we have LSU versus Missouri. I just don't see Missouri getting the victory there. I have 5 seed LSU advancing on to the next round there, to the quarterfinal round, actually. So in South Carolina and Mississippi State, while I do think that South Carolina has been playing better basketball as of late, I'm going to go with 10 seed Mississippi State advancing on to the quarterfinal round there. I think Mississippi State is a team, especially, I can't remember what that guy's name is. They have a really good player. I'm completely blanking right now. Scared me whenever they played Kentucky. They took Kentucky to overtime at Rupp earlier this year. I think it was back in January. But Mississippi State was a team that a lot of people thought may make a run to the tournament. That's kind of fills it out lately. But I do think that Mississippi State can pull off the 10-7 upset over South Carolina. So up next we have Alabama versus Vanderbilt. This completely depends, as I've been saying, on whether which Alabama team you think will show up for this game. Do you think the Alabama team that's beaten so many top teams will show up, or do you think the Alabama team that's lost to Georgia is going to show up there? I'm going to go with Alabama here because Alabama is the better team over Vanderbilt, but that's a scary proposition. They're saying that Alabama's going to win a game in the SEC tournament. So we have now made it to the quarterfinal round in this SEC tournament predictions video. Up first, we have Auburn versus Florida. Honestly, I don't really see a world in which Florida wins that game. I got Auburn advancing on to the SEC semifinals, which that sets up Arkansas versus LSU. These two teams had a really close game this past, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. It was at Arkansas. LSU gave them a complete run for their money. It came down to the absolute wire, and Arkansas squeaked out a victory. But I do think that Arkansas, on a neutral floor, I think they will win that game yet again and advance on to the SEC tournament semifinals. I think they will be able to beat LSU there, their offense is just a little too concerning for me. Tennessee versus Mississippi State. I just don't see Mississippi State pulling off that victory there. I got Tennessee advancing on to the semifinals. And that sets up Kentucky versus Alabama here for a spot in the SEC semifinals. These two teams have played pretty interesting games. Kentucky went on Alabama's floor, took it to them, won pretty handily. And then Alabama got out to a huge start against Kentucky at Rupp Arena. Kentucky was able to fight back. Kentucky's 2-0 this year against Alabama. Will they be able to go 3-0? I do think they will be able to. I got Kentucky here advancing on to the semifinals. So, the stacked semifinals, everybody knew this was going to happen. Auburn versus Arkansas. This is two heavy hitters here. But I have the Razorbacks of Arkansas. They have all the momentum in the world right now. Auburn's lost more games in the last 7 than Arkansas has in their last 16 games. I got Arkansas advancing on right there. That team just has something special going on with them right now. That's not to say Auburn is a Final Four contender. They're a national championship contender in the NCAA tournament. But I do think that Arkansas is playing better basketball right now with J.D. Note, Jalen Williams the charge being led by Eric Musselman. I think Arkansas will advance to the SEC tournament finals, 1 seed going down. And they will face the winner of Kentucky and Tennessee. I am going to go with 3 seed Kentucky winning that game. These two teams split the regular season. Tennessee got destroyed by Kentucky at Rupp, and then Kentucky went over to Tennessee, and they ended up getting destroyed by Tennessee. Kentucky beat them by like 30, 35. Tennessee beat Kentucky by 18. I got Kentucky advancing on. I do think they're the better team, and they should be healthy by the time that rolls around, which sets up 3 seed Kentucky, 4 seed Arkansas for the SEC tournament. Oh, I know if I pick Kentucky here, which I do think Kentucky will win that game if they're fully healthy, and it looks like they will be fully healthy. I'm going to call it a homer by so many people. They're going to say I'm biased, but I think these two teams are playing the best basketball in the SEC right now. I think any of the top 4 seeds can win. But Kentucky just went to Arkansas. Arkansas did just get the victory over Kentucky. So, I mean, there's that data point right there. But it was at Arkansas, one of the craziest environments. I mean, Bud Walton Arena has been popping this year. The fans have been showing up and showing out. They ended up losing by 2 points. Kentucky did to Arkansas on a neutral floor with a fully healthy team. I do think that Kentucky will win the SEC tournament. But that's not to say that Arkansas can't go and make a huge run in this SEC tournament or the actual NCAA tournament. I mean, I believe I had both teams in the Final Four in some of my recent bracketology, so it's something to keep your eye out for there. But there we have it. That's my prediction for the SEC tournament. Let me know what you guys think of my thoughts. I hope you guys watched the entire video because I do have some thoughts about every team. It's not just picking Kentucky to move on because they're my favorite team. I do think that they legitimately should win the SEC tournament, but things can happen. You never know. Let me know your own predictions in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.